There will be no mercy for those charges because the cartels and foreign terrorist organizations have no mercy for others. Thank you.
In addition to our traditional mission, CBP focuses on outbound inspections, and it has a significant increase in the cost of doing business for violent transnational organizations and will continue to serve as a valuable tool in our efforts for border operations and to keep America safe. Our successful interdictions and seizures play a critical role in protecting America's borders and national security by preventing illegal weapons reaching dangerous criminal networks in Mexico. CBP has the authority for departure control of any person, baggage, vehicle, or material departing the United States, and all are subject to inspection and search by CBP officers to ensure compliance with applicable outbound laws. Such examinations have also stopped child abduction, interdicted criminal fleeing prosecution, interdicted illegal contraband such as controlled substances, precursors, arms, and have recovered myriad of other violations involving currency and stolen vehicles. As evidence, you can see in the displays here today, matter of fact, one of the 50 caliber rifles that is on display today was seized at this port of entry here just recently. We know that transnational criminal cycles sends narcotics north, weapons and money south. By stopping illegal proceeds and weapons trafficking south, we disrupt the cycle. In addition to questioning and physical inspections by skilled and experienced officers, CBP will utilize dual-purpose currency weapon detection canines, as well as non-intrusive technology during outbound operations to stop the trafficking of weapons, ammunition, and currency. We will utilize every tool at our disposal to keep these weapons out of the designated terrorist organizations in Mexico. Weapons like the ones on display here today were headed to Mexico for one purpose and one purpose only. That is for deadly terrorist organizations to maintain their territorial control. CBP will continue to use every tool in its arsenal to keep this from happening. Thank you.
What you see here are examples of the hard work that's put through not only by HSI agents, but every member that's represented here today. It's an ongoing effort. None of this can be accomplished without the collaborative efforts of everybody here today, support from the public, and also our state and local partners. Thank you.
Primary mission is to reduce violent crime and combat firearms trafficking by cartels and terrorist organizations. While our mission is clear and concise, it is also immense and dangerous. ATF partners with the U.S. Attorney's Office, Homeland Security Investigations, Customs and Border Protection, and the FBI and other state, county, and local law enforcement partners. We do this to prevent Mexican cartels and terrorist organizations from acquiring illegal firearms whose criminal activities put American lives in danger. Cartels rely on specific firearms to facilitate, expand, and protect their criminal enterprise. Over the past 4 years, cartels have infiltrated the United States through the southern border and are operating within our communities. These cartels have established and expanded their networks throughout the United States to carry out their illicit activities such as fentanyl trafficking, human smuggling. ATF has determined that cartels prefer large caliber and or belt-fed rifles such as the Ohio Ordnance M250 caliber rifle, the Ohio Ordnance M240 7.62 millimeter, the FN M249 5.56 millimeter, and the Barrett M82 50 caliber semi-automatic rifle. These cartels and terrorist organizations are often responsible for the most heinous violent crimes affecting the communities and neighborhoods of the United States. Under President Trump and Attorney General Bondi's leadership, and since January 20th of this year, ATF has prevented nearly 9,700 firearms from falling into the hands of dangerous criminals or terrorists. If you take a look over at the table over here, these are a lot of the firearms that ATF seizes. I'll tell you right now that is a very small representation of what our agents come across almost on a weekly basis. And I'll also say, since the announcement of from Attorney General Bondi earlier in the week of the 9,700 firearms. I will tell you here in Arizona alone, that number is now up to 11,000.
The presence here today is meant to show that we have a unified effort of government to stop weapons trafficking south to Mexico, because that weapons trafficking south to Mexico fuels cartel violence and fuels cartel power, and those cartels are now foreign terrorist organizations. And we have pivoted, and we needed to pivot, to think of those cartels in that manner. Because the violence in Mexico, the violence they introduce into the United States, is abhorrent. There is a cyclical nature to the foreign terrorist organizations' operations, especially in Arizona. They send drugs and people north, and they profit from it. And in return, they get guns and money south. Those guns especially secure the foreign terrorist organizations' power, their money, and their drugs. And here today you see some of the weapons and some of the tools that they use to secure that power. Interdicted 3,000 rounds of 50 cal ammunition. And if you look at the 50 cal weapons on that table, you'll see the damage that those rounds can do. And that was just south of Tucson, on its way down to Nogales. And here at the port, our CBP, OFO partners, they are on an operational basis. Every time they do an outbound operation, find and seize guns. They are denying the cartel those weapons and those instruments, and they are protecting people both in Mexico and in the United States.